I don't think the president's looking for a trade war, but I don't think the president's going to back down from something that he's been talking about and has believed in for the last 40 years. I think what the president's looking for is a reciprocal relationship, if you will. A relationship that says, if you're going to tax our motorcycles at 25%, then we're going to tax yours at 25%. A mirror tax, a reciprocal tax. On top of that, so that's the first thing. The second thing is steel dumping and aluminum dumping in general that the president's been talking about, campaigned on, and has not backed off on. He's allowed the argument to take place. He's listened to really smart people make the case to him as to why he shouldn't move forward, and he has not been swayed by those arguments. So it's also one of the reasons why he won the election. And you know, I'm a free trade type person. I don't believe in tariffs, but guess what? People like me didn't win Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin. People like President Trump did. So I don't think, number one, he's looking for a trade war. I just think he's looking for a new fair chapter in trade, which is a hallmark of everything that he's about. And it's different for the Republican Party, but it's not different for President Trump because it is who he is, and he hasn't changed on this particular subject. Yeah, I think it would. I mean, I think that it certainly is a start. It certainly is a start to addressing steel dumping, which is part of the problem. When people are dumping steel in the United States and in Japan, which then ends up in the United States, you're undercutting the productivity and the markets in the United States. You're also undercutting the ability for United States steel manufacturers to survive. So then it becomes a question of national security. If you have a country that isn't producing steel because there's such other cheaper options because of steel dumping, you're jeopardizing national security in the United States, which is why this is also an issue of concern to the president. So I think it's a start. I think it's something that the president is willing to negotiate on. Like I said before, he will put all his chips on the table, and he may put everyone back on their heels, but he's also a person that on a bilateral basis is willing to sit down with his counterparts, including China and other places, and say, okay, let's talk about how you want to resolve these issues. And my guess is the president will resolve it, but on a one-by-one basis. I don't know if it's scare tactics. I think it's something, it's not though, because it's what the president believes in. It's not, this is something, like I said before, and not to be repetitive, but it's not a Republican issue, it's a Trump issue. He's been talking about this for 30 years, 40 years. It's not going to change. He wants it addressed. The trade imbalances to him, I believe, are fairness issues to him. You know, if the United States runs its own deficits, we did that to ourselves. But those are the decisions made by leadership within the United States. But he views trade imbalances as issues of fairness between two countries that he wants to address individually. And if there's a reason why a trade imbalance needs to take place because of, you know, who has natural resources and who doesn't, or other reasons that are legitimate, then I think some of these things are let go. But just pure predatory practices is something that the president's not going to live with.